Hello, gentle viewers. This is Zav Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last episode, we completed a fairly quiet offseason. If we take a look at the team home screen, you can tell that there are two new names in our primary lineup. We have Alex Huamani taking over a shortstop from Clint Daly. And we're expecting him to be a very effective shortstop and hopefully show enough of a bat to carry the glove, basically. He's also got a little bit of speed, which means we might expect him to steal maybe a dozen bases or so over the course of the season. The other newbie is Mike Soto. Now, Mike Soto has been with us for quite some time now, and we are using him as our designated hitter while Mike Iglesias heals. We probably want to Mike Iglesias at all this season. He's out for 9 months, and that means we're highly unlikely to see him, unless we get one of those random events, of course, where the player just instantly heals. Mr. Soto's also going to be playing third base regularly to give Manny Pozo a bit of a rest, and to see what he can do in that field. Now, both Soto and Huamani have an interesting duality. Neither one of them has ever played above high A, which is obviously less than ideal. But needs must, and I think that both of them are proved capable of holding their own in the major leagues. Among our rotation, the notable new name is an old name, which is our good pal Joe Camp, who has returned to the rotation after a couple of years in the bullpen, actually just the 1 year, where he did outstandingly well, and now he is back to be a starting pitcher, which is what he's always wanted. Rounding out the other changes, we have new reliever Victor Rios, who's essentially here to be the new Joe Camp, to basically give us stopper-style innings and throw lots and lots of pitches. That is where we are at the beginning of the season. But I wanted to address a comment made by a kind and faithful viewer, Front Down, who asked me, when are we going to end the Pirates series? And initially, my previous answer has always been, we will end it when OOTP 24 comes out. But I got to thinking, and I don't think the game would be very interesting if I played it that long. So instead I offer you another answer, when we're going to end it. We've accomplished all of our initial primary goals, right? We wanted to play 10 seasons, win a World Series, and get a Hall of Famer. And as of last episode, we have 2 Hall of Famers, Tommy McDonald and Andres Avila, where Avila is the one who actually counts in my eyes, because, well, he actually did the whole thing. We identified him, we signed him, and we turned him into a Hall of Famer. Whereas Tommy McDonald was already on a Hall of Fame trajectory, we just gave him a lot of money and asked him to win World Series for us, which he did. So, what is the new goal? What is the terminal goal that will end the series? At a minimum, I want to play till 2061. That's because it will be exactly 40 years since we did our first season of managing. In addition, however, I have another challenge. In Major League history, the record for World Series won by a single manager is 7. This is held by Joe McCarthy and Casey Stengel. Joe McCarthy won all of his World Series titles with the Yankees, and Casey Stengel won some with the Yankees and some with the Mets. I'm going to really quickly look him up. I think that's accurate, though. I think Stengel did win at least a couple of World Series with the Yankees too. But it's interesting. He never actually won a World Series with the Mets. They were all done with the Yankees. So there we go. There we go. So that is our new objective. We want to win 8 World Series, proving conclusively We are the finest manager in the history of Major League Baseball. That is our goal. To win 8 World Series. We have 5, including one just last year. So this may be a good time to accomplish that goal. We're going to play till 2061 at a minimum, and I want to win 8 World Series. Once I win that 8th World Series, then we shall end the series with the Pirates. The question that Front Down also asked was, what team am I going to play this next? I'll offer up the Oakland A's. I have not decided that yet. I want to see how close we are to 2034 coming or 2024 coming out, and see what kind of features are coming out, because there's a lot of exciting changes coming to the CBA next year. We're gonna see the shift banned. We're gonna see, gosh, what were the other really big changes? The shift being banned was the big one. I don't remember this off the top of my head, so I will look that up too. So MLB rules changes 2023. Oh, the pitch clock and larger bases. Those are the rules coming next season. I doubt the pitch clock will have any real effect on the game. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I know that banning the shift, and in particular, the bigger bases will have some impact on the game. So, with that said, I'm going to make one final change to the rules. And this is because I want a chance for... Manny Pozo to get in the Hall of Fame and gets really, really lucky. So I'm going to turn off the waiting period. It's gone now. Everything else I'm going to leave alone. I don't care to change anything else, but I do want to set this as none. And, my friends, we are now ready to begin the season. Talking about off-season decisions to make here, I think the number one concern is going to be what we do with Sean Hill. We did lock up Henry Salgado for a nice long period for a sizable percentage of Casherino, but it is not immediately obvious how helpful Sean Hill will be in the seasons to come. He's coming off the worst season of his career, and that is obviously deeply, deeply disconcerting. He is only 27, plenty of reason to think he might bounce back, but if he doesn't bounce back, we're going to have some words. And we're probably going to consider trading him in the offseason. Other than that, it's going to be interesting to see who we keep around and who we don't. We have a couple of player options coming, a couple of team options coming up. Some big arbitration awards coming in the guise of Victor Rios, for instance. So we will have some decisions to make at that time. I'd kind of like to lock up Jesus Solano if I can get him cheaply, but he is already wrecked. He doesn't have a ton of velocity, so we might want to look for a new starting pitcher next offseason as well. Anthony Jones, for a center fielder who only provides defensive value, $8 million is pushing it, but he definitely will not be here next season. The season after, I should say. So, I don't think there's anything else to chat about before the season begins. I ain't paying Joe Jobson $10 million either. That's redonkulous. He may happily find himself a new job, because I'm not paying 2 closers $10 million plus. That's just absurd. Once he's healthy, I'll probably try to trade him, but we shall see what happens. Alright, let us now play some baseball games and see if we can get on our path to number 6. And yeah, see what happens. I think whenever we do our next series, one thing I'm going to do for certain is I'm going to turn off automatic league expansion. I think it has diluted the talent pool enough that I find it a little bit annoying. Joe Jobson is not that much better than Manny Osorio. I think I'm going to trade him now. and see what I can get in the realm of a quality prospect. Let's actually do a prospect package. Someone's going to be desperate for a closer, and I'm hoping that I can get them to... Wow, really? Okay. Nobody... Oh, Jobson, are you fucking... Do you have a non-trade clause? You don't. Why does nobody want him? I wonder if it's because... Okay, we're going to send Manny Osorio to the minors, just so I can activate Jobson. And now I'm going to offer Joe Jobson again. Because I find it very hard to believe that nobody wants him. Not one single solitary team wants him. Really? I don't understand it. I truly do not understand it. I'll put him on the trade block and see if somebody will eventually, like, ask for him. I bet it's because he has a no trade clause, because he has 10-5 rights. No, that's interesting. No, he can be traded. They're just not trading him. Joe Jobson is better than Osorio, so I'm going to go ahead and let Joe Jobson pitch for us this season and see what happens. But for right now, I'm not going to mess with it. We're just going to keep on keeping on and go from there. Xavier Goodwin was, I believe, taken from us in the Rule 5 and has since been returned. So I'm going to send you down. I'm going to send the 3 of you down to the minor leagues. And we proceed thusly. We have Manny Carrillo back. I'm going to send you right to AAA because I don't really... Oh. Do I have a left-handed reliever right now? I don't think I do. And he's definitely good at that. So the question is, do we leave him in the majors or do we send somebody else down? I'm going to try to get him through waivers. I think that's my plan. Someone very well might claim him, and if they do, that's fine. You want me to put him on a rehab assignment? That makes more sense. That way, if a reliever gets hurt, I can call up Carrillo. Okay, just gonna let things develop. We're off to a slow start, but we're traditionally a slow starting team, so I'm not I'm not that concerned, at least not at the moment. So, of all the players that could have been hurt, Mike Soto getting hurt does kind of suck. Who is the next man up? Who is a talented offensive performer who could slide in and be our DH? I think it's Victor Solano. I think he's the closest to being a quality piece. I'm going to go and just... Or do we use Stovall? Interesting. You know what? Let's do a platoon with Stovall playing right, DH. Pardon me. With Stovall DHing against righties and Victor Solano DHing against lefties, or Brian Williamson. Williamson's much faster and has the better on base skills. Solano does have a bit more pop. I think we will try out Williamson, though. Williamson is also much better defensively, so we're going to go ahead and let Munoz DH and let Williamson play right. I am then quickly going to generate a new depth chart. If starter tired, if starter tired, if starter tired, if starter tired, and every 7 games. Then we're going to do, not the lineup, sorry, just the depth chart. No, not even the depth chart. Generate, please. If tired, if tired, if tired, 7. I found it kind of curious how desperate our bench coach is to get Matt Hawkins regular playing time. I'm not saying he's a bad player because he definitely isn't, but he is also very limited with his offensive skill set. So that's why I have no qualms about him playing regularly, but I don't want him being a starter. Like, if he just super subs, fills a few positions, that's fine. But for the rest of it, I'm not eager to give him any kind of giant role in this team. I remember Ricky Peral. He was... Man, we had Ricky Peral. We had 3 players that all came up at the same time. We had Peral, Pozo, and that first baseman. Oh gosh, what was his name? Poop. Some nice upgrades here. That's reassuring. Tony Osorio is throwing harder. Good stuff. Oh gosh, it's going to drive me crazy until I figure it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our positional register. Oh no, positional starters. Here we go. I'll recognize the name instantly. Nick Rosario. That's the one. Yeah, it was Ricky Peral, Nick Rosario. And, oh, interesting. It wasn't Manny Pozo that was the other guy that was the big one. Oh, Garrett Gunnels. But Gunnels predated them both by quite a ways. We had Clint Daly as our shortstop for a very, very long time. Who was the other big one? It was Rosario. Oh, it was Avila. Rosario, Avila, and Peral. And Rosario will never make the Hall of Fame. Peral got bumped. I don't think Rosario even got onto the ballot. No, he got like 1 vote. Boy. Wild times, my friends. Wild freaking times. Okay, let us play additional baseball games, as there's not much you can do only after 1 month of the season. Jesus Solano is going to need some rest. Alright, Manny Carrillo. I don't have any players injured enough, so I will go ahead and designate you for assignment. No, I won't. I don't really see anybody I want to get rid of in favor of you, though, is the problem. Like, I don't have an actual lefty killer. I have Robbie the Hero. Then yeah, I will go ahead and trade Manny Carrillo. The reason I'm going to trade him instead of designating him for assignment is I have a pretty high suspicion that he will get claimed if I don't trade him. And I want to get something for him rather than nothing. Elton May isn't that interesting. But he's also not interesting. Holy shit, Danny Bustamante. Join us immediately. That is crazy. A guy who can play that many different positions at a fairly high level. 1,000 times yes. Oh, did it keep my... It did. Let's do this real quick. This is kind of fun. Oh no, we did this before, didn't we? And we determined that literally nobody on our team was actually drafted by us. Whereas most of our lineup was. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also going to give us credit for Matt Hawkins because we did originally draft him. Oh, no, we didn't. We traded for him. Never mind. Anyways, I'm glad I found that view. That makes me happy. That sparks joy in my soul. We are not scoring runs, like, at all. That is very disconcerting to me. Like, we're still winning plenty of baseball games, so I'm not that annoyed. But I am annoyed. Alright. So it got me a couple options here. Nope, not Salrada. Never mind. I was going to say Salrada can be our new starter. He cannot. Ryan Green is not remotely ready for the major leagues. Like, not even a little bit. Franklin Grady is interesting that he's all of a sudden turning himself into a starter. If not for his god-awful control, I'd probably try it. But I'm really concerned he's just gonna walk every single possible hitter that he runs into. Xavier Goodwin is probably the other choice, right? I doesn't have a ton of stamina, but he has been a workhorse in the minors, and he's got a really nice pitch mix. But he doesn't throw very hard either. Interesting. For just a few weeks, I think it's fine to go ahead and give Xavier Goodwin some innings and see what he can do. But we will proceed onwards as of this moment. Look, only missing a handful of starts isn't enough for me to go run out and get a new fifth starter, but it is something I will consider if we reach like the trading deadline or deeper into the season and we're really struggling to pitch well. Okay, we can have Mike Soto back. How is Stovall doing? He's doing okay. As is Victor Solano. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mike Soto go back to the minor leagues. We're going to send him to, I think, Double-A. And let him develop a bit more in the minors. Mostly because Stovall and Solano were hitting so well. If that changes, then we may be calling upon him again. And Williamson is doing quite well in addition. So I have no problems with letting all of you kind of compete for the DH role rather than rush you back. Our old pal, Johnny Cerulli, hit 3 homers. He's got an off chance at the Hall of Fame. If he does, though, it's going to purely be because of the raw home run totals he's able to put up. That would be somewhat interesting. Jorge Ramos is on fire. Someone better put him out then. Oh, I'm a genius. Anyway. Good times. Solano's going to take a little bit longer. That's whatever. I can't do anything about that. No really obvious red flags here about players declining precipitously. Except for Sean Hill, apparently. That's not ideal. Manny Pozo's losing a bit of his defensive chops, but Alex Womani is getting better. Esteban Stoval's a tiny bit better. Victor Almaguer is a little bit stronger. And Stovall, with his 8 home runs on the year, is the #1 rookie in the majors. That's kind of neat. So what's going on, my friends? Well, we're not hitting super great. That is the immediate conclusion I'm drawing looking at this roster. We're not hitting our best. Victor Rios also seems like he's really struggling to be a great reliever, so I may change his role in the bullpen. But for right now, my biggest concern is the fact that we are not hitting well as a team. Let's start with Manny Pozo. Now, Mr. Pozo still has plenty of pop and a good amount of on-base percentage. It's not unrealistic for him to be declining. He is getting old. But I kind of would like to see him start to bounce back a little bit if he can. Sean Hill is reasonably back. He's getting on base. He's hitting homers. Great stuff. Henry Salgado, right off of an MVP level performance, is really struggling this season. He's not hitting for as much contact, and his power in particular is deeply disappointing. I am hopeful that he will figure this out, because he's still a tremendous asset regardless, but this does concern me, and I hope he can sort it out. Jordan Munoz is doing his job fairly well. I'd like to see him hit for a higher average and hit for a little bit more pop, but other than that, he's doing well. Stovall he's frankly exceeding my expectations, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too much just yet. Joe has really taken to the starting catcher role. And while I think it's absurd to expect him at 300, I do think the rest of his offensive package is very high quality. He's not great at controlling the running game, which is a bit disconcerting, but otherwise, pretty happy with that performance. Rebelar is declining. Instead of improving his play discipline, he's actually not getting any better. So I am concerned about him. He is definitely not playing to his full potential. Defensively, he's fine, but offensively, he's definitely slipping. Alex Womani is not hitting. Which is something I admit I kind of expected might happen. He's an effective shortstop, but hardly all-world. This may be something that changes as well. Anthony Jones is Anthony Jones. He hits okay and plays pretty decent defense. If not for Almahuer's arm, I'd probably consider him for shortstop. As it is, he might be my new second baseman if Rebelar doesn't figure out his shit. I could play Manny Toro at short, but Huamani's definitely better than he is. So I think we just kind of ride out Huamani. But the players I am most interested... Okay, my dude... Why are you still an A-ball? You've got more to show me. But I guess I will leave it to you for right now. So Mike Soto plays double A for a while. That's great. Okay. Friends, let us proceed. Because I don't really see any obvious changes I can make to the lineup. Now, pitching staff, I will go ahead and way draw back on Victor Rios' role. Because my dude is getting lit up here. Now, the game seems to think there's something else going on here. Because the game is predicting him for getting 2 wins above replacement. But he's coming to important situations and he's not getting it done. So what's the deal, yo? He's not getting hit that hard. He's not striking people out. That's part of the issue, I think. Only allowed 3 homers. He's getting lifted. He's supposed to be a ground ball guy, and he is getting hit in the air. That is not very good. Defense might be hurting him a bit. It looks like defensively his tip says he should be much better than this. So let's figure out who is failing us defensively. So if I look at fielding stats, Manny Pozo's declining. Not unexpected, but not welcome. Rebelar and Huarani are the 2 I thought would be more likely to be issues, and they're 2 of our best. So maybe it's just bad luck, and maybe a little bit more time would let Rios be truly exceptional. And none of the other relievers have really stood out to me as saying, yes, we are ready for a much bigger role. So I think we're just going to go ahead and continue as is and see what happens as the season progresses. All right. We're going to jump ahead to international free agent signing and just see how things go. I genuinely believe we just kind of need to kick in the pants and to wake up the offense. And once the offense wakes up, I think everything else will be a little bit easier for everyone concerned. I think that is absolutely the case. That we're just a little bit off. And if we can sort it out, that we will be in much better shape. Like, I don't expect Henry Salgado to win MVPs every year. I certainly don't expect that. How has Xavier Goodwin been? He's been pretty terrible. So back to the minors with you. And Solano gets his rotation spot back. Let's go and let Jose Brown be the number 4 starter. Why not? And then Jesus Solano. Owie. Okay, the incomparable Mr. Ernesto Turner is available, and I don't see any reason why I would put him on the Major League roster right now. How many 40-man spots do I have open? I have 5. I guess it's alright to put him on the 40-man and then send him to AAA. I guess that's fair. So you're going to go 40-man. I'm going to send you to AAA. There you go. You can work on your craft a bit more in the minors. And now we continue advancing. You're not the fucking closer, Joe Jobson. Shut the hell up. Okay? Just cease thy prattling. I want nothing to do with your whining. We're getting blown out every once in a while, which is not exciting to me. I don't hate Zion Armstrong. I think he's got a good mix of pitches, a good ground baller, good stuff, phenomenal control, doesn't have great movement, so he's going to get home runs. Spandar Avishon is a long way away from the majors. Victor Alvarez is defensive only. Interesting. Who would our new friend replace if we were to acquire him? I don't know. None of my starters have an imminent departure. I mean, Ty Sims might opt out, and if he does, I'll just sign him again. But that's interesting to me, that nobody is really imminent to leave the team. I do want a dynamic young starter, if for nothing else, and to store him in the bullpen. Can I get him if I only give you Alvarez, though? So that's the rub. They want a premium prospect, and I'm not going to give you a premium prospect. If we were struggling a bit more, I'd think about it. But for right now, I think I shall pass. Now, you may say that none shall pass, but I disagree with you. Quite seriously. You'd offer me Marco Gutierrez. That's a no. I don't think he's a good enough player, so I will decline. We're 6 games out of first. It might be about time to start panicking a little bit and figuring out how to make some things happy here. Herman Dominguez. Well, he is a big miss on my part, because holy fuck, has he turned into a megastar for Colorado. I definitely did not anticipate that when I let him go, so that's on me. Whose contracts are coming up? Only one Pittsburgh coach's contract is coming up. The team is happy, and I see no reason to disrupt the cohesion. And DaCosta is pretty damn good at his job, so we'll give him a brand shiny new contract. Offer, and 2 coaches have not agreed to extensions. Let's see here. Shoma Fujihira is a brilliant fucking pitching coach. I would love to keep him if he's willing to stay. Easy choice. And then Andres Melendez is really, really talented too. So I think keeping him also makes sense. Done. I kind of wish this is actually a very easy thing for OTP to do. That you know how you get your players are these coaches contracts are running out. I'd love to see it for free agents as well. Just a nice little reminder email that says, "Hey, these guys are going to be off your team. Figure out what you want to do with them." All right, my friends, let us take a look at how the team is progressing. Pozo is really struggling at third base, which is not great, and it may mean I have to make a move there sooner than I wanted to. If his bat is still working out fine, I'm sure I can find a new defensive third baseman, but I am concerned about the bat. Alright. That's fine. Looking at the team here. Yeah, Pozo is struggling pretty badly. I think getting him out of the leadoff spot is probably the most important thing to do at the beginning. Before we do anything else, he's got to get kicked out of the leadoff spot. Because we're just not scoring runs. And the best reason we're not scoring runs is almost certainly the fact that our leadoff guy isn't getting on base. So, who among us would make a better leadoff hitter? Let's look at the batting stats. Let's look at on-base percentage. Brian Williamson is not drawing walks at a very high rate. I do find that concerning. I don't have any elite on-base guys. Except for Salgado and Hill, who I want to leave where they are. Brian Williamson has hardly been brilliant. I think I'm going to go ahead and start Hawkins now in right field against lefties. And then Hawkins can hit there, and Hill can hit there. I think if I put Pozo later in the lineup, that would probably be beneficial. Now, the real question becomes, who's going to be the starter? Who's going to be our leadoff guy against right-handed pitchers? That is a very fine question. Very fine indeed. And I don't have an obvious candidate. I don't even have anybody to bench in favor of what's to say, so if I wanted to try that. Because I need Munoz's power. He's definitely good for that. Stovall's been a really talented rookie. I don't see too much value in taking him out of the lineup. So I guess the real question is, who would replace Manny Pozo? And the answer right now is nobody. I just have to hope that he figures out how to start drawing walks again as the season progresses. It's not really his walks that are the problem, though. It's the fact he's not hitting for average. That is the greater concern. But this should at least help mitigate the problem and also give Hawkins a bigger role, which I think he will appreciate. Okay. Beyond that, I don't see any ready place to make an upgrade in the lineup. We just need the players who should be playing better to play better. We basically have a whole bunch of hitters that are right around league average, and we should have at least 2 superstars on this team in the guise of Henry Salgado and Sean Hill. And Hill is playing very well. Hill is doing what he's paid to do. I have no qualms about Sean Hill. My problem is with Henry Salgado only hitting .251. And in particular, having almost no power. That is a problem. That is very concerning to me, and I hope to fuck that gets sorted out. That's going to be our key for turning this around in the second half, is going to be Salgado getting hot. And he has to get hot. Like, he is too damn good to play this poorly. So we're going to have to hope that he shakes out of his funk and starts crushing baseballs. Revelar is interesting. Oh, pardon me. At some point, you are who your record says you are, and right now the record says he's an unimpressive second baseman. So Almaguer is really impressive defensively, and he is hitting quite well in AAA. I want to make some kind of change to wake up this team, so I'm going to go ahead and bench Revelar. I'm going to send him to the minors. I'm going to call up Almaguer, and he's going to be our new starting second baseman. He's better defensively, and most importantly, he's got gap power, and he's going to hit for decent contact. So I should expect a fair few doubles out of him. Even if the rest of the offensive profile isn't brilliant, it's not like the other guy was setting the world on fire either. At what point do we bench Manny Pozo? I don't think we're there yet. He is still above replacement level, but I am concerned. And I am hoping that he will also heat up a little bit. If we look at his BABIP, this is far worse than his career average. Much, much worse than his career average. I am hopeful that he will continue to plug away and be a useful player. I could bet Anthony Jones higher in the lineup, where his frankly surprising power might be a bit more beneficial. So let's do that. Let's let Anthony Jones bat 8th now. Let's let him bat 7th. I think that's reasonable. Joe is still very effective offensively, so I have no problems with him. Even if he's not brilliant offensively, he's still good enough. And that is highly welcome. Let's look at the pitching staff. Obvious choice here. Stop throwing Eric Roberts so much. Please, I beg you. Either that or literally throw Eric Roberts. Whichever. He's walking way too many people. He cannot seem to throw strikes this season, so he will be demoted. And let's go ahead and start using Salrada a bit more and see what he can accomplish. Victor Rios is settling down quite a bit, which is excellent to see. He's being an effective pitcher. Our closer should be a little bit better, if I'm honest with you. But I don't hate what he's given us. I just think he should be giving us more. But we'll see what happens. I think by far the greater problem is that we're not giving him a lead to begin with. So he's not getting save opportunities. So we're just going to keep going for right now. Rotation is mostly okay. Joe Camp has been fine. Not brilliant, but fine. Yeah. Let's keep going after we sign an international free agent. Is there any players here worth noting? I mean, hi, Sal Becerra. You can even catch? Wow. That is really, really fucking good. Yes, please. You're more likely to just tell me to get lost, but we're gonna try it. You're not good enough to be a member of this organization. You're barely good enough to be a member of the bullpen, so cease thy prattle, Eric Roberts. Cease thy prattle. I must have signed him. Yeah, because I didn't get any kind of error message. I don't want Jorge Ortiz, or do I? I do not. Very tempting, but no. Mike Soto is enjoying his time in Double-A quite a lot. That's fantastic. Let us proceed to the first year draft. I'm sorry that it has expired, Matt, but here we are. Just give me default, and then we'll see who's still around by the time I get to draft, and then I will decide from there. Alright, so we're mostly looking at medium prospects. So, what could I use most of all? I don't need a catcher. If we quickly take a look at our organizational depth chart. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. It's the one that looks like a freaking baseball diamond. That's a minor league system report. Organization, no. Home, no. Oh my gosh, I can never remember where this stupid thing is. Now this is cool, but that's not what I was looking for either. Info, reports. No, there's no reports here. It's the same screen that player development is on. This is it. This will tell me how close my best prospects are. And then I wanted the organizational ranking. Was the other thing I wanted. And that's positional ranks. Here we go. So, organizationally, I'm kind of weak at catcher. But it looks like I most badly need right fielders. Oh, here you go. Overall, I need second baseman, I need right fielders, and I need relievers. Okay. Well, I'm not drafting for major league need. I will draft for organizational lead. So I got a couple center fielders that are worth noting. But there is one starting pitcher that ranks quite highly here, and I want to take a look at him too. Jose Olivas is a reasonably good pitcher that's got pretty good skills here. A nice fastball, sinker, slider, changeup. He's also quite raw, but if you look at how bloody good he was in high school, that is, frankly, extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. He is 18, however. And that means we're not going to see him for a very long time if we do sign him, and that does give me some pause. Freddie Suarez is the most polished of the high-level prospects, but he's basically a great defensive player that might eventually hit for average, and that does give me some concern. So let's look at Julian Williams. Excellent contact and gap power, reasonably good home run power, and decent discipline and strikeouts. He's got pretty good speed, and it looks like he'd stick in at any outfield position. So right now, Mr. Williams here seems like the guy. Victor Dominguez is very error-prone. And I don't think the rest of the offense is good enough to carry him over the hump. Tyler Brown is... I think I'm going to go ahead and take Julian Williams and just not overthink this. And see who might be available by the time we pick again. Okay, Freddie Suarez in the second round is a much more palatable prospect. So draft him I shall. It gives me a lot more depth, and I think he is a good pick. Third round pick. What is the problem with Jackson Dial? He's a terrible player. I guess that makes sense. That's why nobody wants you. Matt Jones is a highly competent hitter. But I would like one good tier starting pitching prospect. And I think Jose Cordero is a very good choice. He's all potential right now. He has very little established skills. But if he hits even a fragment of that high potential, I think we're looking at an excellent starting pitcher. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make Jose Cordero its Pittsburgh Pirate. I'll take Elias Hall just because nobody else seems to want him, which I find very concerning, but also fine. Julio Vasquez. You're going to cost me a lot of money, but I think you're worth it. You already throw pretty hard. You've got a plethora of good pitches. Really good movement, yeah. No-brainer. Sorry you're not going to Stanford, my son, but I will bring you aboard. Matt Jones is a really good hitter, so I will draft him next. Is there anybody who is an elite contact hitter? There are several players who are elite contact hitters. But I need a bit more than just contact, and I think David Cross seems to be a good fit. Yeah, let's grab ourselves some David Cross. I like that. I love Danny Gomez too, but I really like Victor Gomez. There's a lot to like there. Get ourselves some Victor Gomez in our lives. Oscar Dominguez, why not? Apparently I'm doing all the impossibles today. Luis Ramirez. And let's look at some pitching now. And I want to find somebody who's got insanely good stuff. If he's got two of the three things, I'm going to go for it. We'll try for Andres Arellano. And Troy Melker. Or Tony Melker, sorry. And what the shit? Rocky Gonzaga. What's the worst that could happen? And now I'm going to go ahead and let my beloved scouting director draft the rest of the draft here. We're already putting a lot of money into this draft, but I think that is highly worthwhile. Because a lot of our initial players are going to be below slot. My first round draft pick and my second round pick are both quite below slot. You're a bit above it. That's fine. 580,000, no problemo. Julio Vasquez wants more than $10 million. You know what's more than $10 million? $12 million. You want to get paid. You want to get paid. I am fine with all of this. You want more than $9 million. Let's do 11 for you. Oscar Dominguez, I will give you $8 million to sign with the Pirates of Pittsburgh. Because we're not going to have great draft positions, this is our best way to get premium talent, is to overpay in the later rounds for players that are a little trickier. The NL Central, low-key, is fucking bonkers this season. Signing. I don't really want to lose Robbie Hero. It only affects his running. So I think... Oh no, he definitely has other injury issues too. I'm going to go and place you on the IL. And I'm going to call up Manny Osorio. I know since I don't have a lefty killer, I'm willing to deal with that for the time being. All-Star Game rosters. Who from Pitt? Ty Sims. Joe. Ling Kung Joe. I get 2 and only 2 All-Stars. That's a bit disappointing. That makes me kind of sad, actually. But not that sad. I can't really tell you that anyone really deserves it at this point, so I'm not that shocked. Who do we have from Pitt here? We have John Navio. We have... That's it. Oh, and Manny Osorio, who just got called up to the bigs. So, an interesting dilemma raises itself in my eyes. Do we keep Robbie Rodriguez any longer? He's going to be a first baseman, and he might be a pretty good first baseman. So that's what makes me hesitant to get rid of him, especially since we're not sure what's going to happen with Sean Hill yet. I don't know. I wish Homero Spineo would fucking hit in the minors. I truly wish that would happen. Because everything else about him I like quite a lot. But he just can't hit. And if I want a purely defensive center fielder, I've got a much better one in Anthony Jones. Perhaps this is the stage where we think about moving on from Spineo and see if we can get somebody a bit more suited to our team. Look, you seem like a good dude, and I like you, but I'm just not convinced that you would be a good replacement for Anthony Jones. And that's what I'm looking for. That is the standard you're trying to meet, is can I replace Nathan Jones? Or Anthony Jones, sorry. Unless that answer is yes, I don't have a lot of value in keeping you around for too much longer. But let us proceed for now up to the trading deadline. And then we'll have a good hard think about it. This division is extremely winnable at this point. We just need to figure out what it is that we need to make this division winnable by us. Is there one or two pieces we could acquire to take us over the top? You're gonna miss 3 more weeks. That's whatever, I guess. Johnny Cerulli won the home run title. Good for him. All right. Trading deadline, please. You would give me the Gregorio Valdez? I don't want him, though. But thanks, I guess. Alright. So we are very much in control of our destiny come playoff time here, right? We are very, very highly ready for... We have good playoff positioning. If we look at the overall standings, there are 3 wild cards. No, I take that back. There are 4 wild cards, and we are in the driver's seat for one of them. If we were in the NL East, we'd be leading it, but we're not, so that's fine. The important thing is we have a real chance to push ourselves to the next level. So what do we need more than anything to get us over the hump? I need Henry Salgado to figure out his fucking shit. That's the number one thing that's got to happen. We need more from Victor Almaguer. I need another bat. And Stovall isn't... He's reasonably good. He's getting on base, and he's hitting home runs, but he's not doing a whole lot else. Manny Pozo is not really well suited to be a leadoff guy, but I don't have a leadoff guy. Is my problem. I still want him on the team. I know he's getting to the point where he's kind of expensive. I might opt out of his contract in the offseason, see if we can sign him for like a much cheaper salary. But what we need is we need a true leadoff guy. Henry Salgado is picking it up a little bit, so that's reassuring. So, what will we trade to get our prototypical leadoff guy? You are so far from the big leagues, John Navio. Stovall is probably the most expendable member of this lineup, if not for his prodigious power. For whatever reason this season, we're kind of leaning a bit more heavily on homers. And that's totally fine. It just hasn't been our MO in the past. I'd love to see us get somebody a bit more on basey for the leadoff role. So let us quickly take a look at who is on the trade block this season. There's Alex Hilliard, who would be incredible for any number of reasons, and I know there is 0 chance I can acquire him. There's literally nobody on the Pittsburgh Pirates to get Hilliard. Fine. Ethan Hayes is nothing special. There's really nobody that interesting. What about starting pitching? How are we doing with our... No, rotation's fine. Yeah, friends, I don't really see an obvious choice here. I could call up Mike Soto. Mike Soto has more than proven himself in Double-A. Let's get him up to Triple-A. Oh, that's interesting. Ernesto Turner is better than Victor Solano. I'm going to try to trade you for an outfielder and see who might be just any offensive prospect, really, for Victor Solano. Let's see here. Underwhelming. Underwhelming might be the best I can do, though. Like, it just is what it is right now, right? Bobby Bernalsley is really good defensively. So I think that's probably the play here. Because Victor Solano don't do shit for me. He really, truly doesn't. And Ernesto Turner is just a better player right now. He literally does everything better than that. Matt Hawkins is settling in nicely. Maybe this is our solution. Letting him play the outfield every day. I don't know. I don't really want to bench Stovall, but I've got to be honest with you. We desperately need an on-base presence at the top of the lineup. We just need one badly. This also lets Jordan Munoz get out of the field, which also seems good to me. Or I guess you could also Salgado, whatever. I think we're going to do it. And we're just going to let Stovall be a super sub. Because we need the on-base skills. That's what's holding us back. We need an everyday... no, we're not benching Munoz. He's good. He's very good. Hawkins is going to be our new right fielder. And he's going to go there. And then I'm going to go here. Right field. That Hawkins also a great defender. Certainly helps. But I really just need a big-time on-base threat at the top of the lineup. To make the rest of the lineup function normally. Then I'm going to go ahead and generate a new depth chart. And we're going to see what the game has us do. Really? Now you want me to play freaking Hawkins, like Stovall, more frequently? Once every 5 games seems reasonable to me. That seems good. And you're definitely if tired because you definitely struggle otherwise. Avila, I think, is the other guy we try to trade. This is about... but you're a captain. And I don't have another captain, I don't think. I don't. So if I trade Avila, it's going to have a ripple effect. Which is not great, but whatever. Is there anybody whose contract is coming up that I'm not going to bring back that I want to consider trading? Robbie the Hero being injured makes him untradeable right now. Or is he? Nah, he's not untradeable, but I'm not getting anything good either, so I'm not going to worry about that. If I want to keep Franklin Grady, I literally just have to put him on the 40-man. And I think he still has a possible future to me as a reliever. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just put him on the 40-man for now. And that'll... Grady is no longer permitted to leave. If Revelar couldn't handle third, I'd be a lot more willing to trade him, but the fact is that he can handle third, and that makes me unwilling to get rid of him yet. Boy, I wish I hadn't given Eric Roberts a contract extension after last season. Oh well. Like, he's not costing me very much money, so I'm not that bothered by it, but he's certainly not playing at a very high level, is he? Get fucked, Joe Camp. Right in the ear, get fucked. I'm not giving you a starting rotation spot. We'll see what happens this offseason. There's nobody else here that obviously is ready for anything new. Out of curiosity, would you take like a 7-year salary if we just did like no. And that's totally reasonable. I'm not going to argue with him. I just thought it was worth a shot to get a really good young player locked up, nice and cheap, nice and early. Oh well. I don't think there's anything I could really acquire. I could trade Eric Roberts. Somebody probably wants him to try being a starter. I guess that's worth trying, actually. Let's see if anybody's interested in Mr. Eric Roberts. I'm getting some reasonably interesting offers here. Juan Verduzco is pretty solid. Yeah, let's grab Verduzco. And give you Eric Roberts. And I will see if you'll give me another prospect, but you probably won't. I'd go for some Jerry Baxter if you want to get rid of him. Okay, they love Jerry Baxter so much that they won't trade him. That's fair. I can't argue with that. Boy, the Cubs sure have a type, don't they? And that type is apparently starters who don't throw any kind of with control. I'm curious to see if given the opportunity... Oh, you'd be a very good reliever given the opportunity. Potentially fantastic. You're a reliever now, my son. And we're going to see what you can accomplish here. This does open up a spot on the Major League roster for a new pitcher. Which I did not fully consider. Gira will be back in 2 weeks, so I really don't want anybody who's going to be on there for very, very long. I could do Ryan Green. Let's do Xavier Goodwin. I like the idea of having an emergency starter on the roster now. Another one, anyway. And see what he can do there. Alright. Let us then keep going. I don't really have anything else to do here. I'm hopeful that Matt Hawkins leading off is going to drive the rest of this lineup to a new gear. Because I'm wondering if the problem is that teams aren't pitching to Salgado because he doesn't have enough protection in front of him. Like, with Manny Pozo not getting on base regularly, that really disincentivizes pitchers to give him anything to hit. So it's going to mostly be drawing walks. That may be our issue here. That may be the big concern. I don't know, though. We'll see what happens here. Sims is best pitcher in the National League because obviously he is. Roster expansion time, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll think about it. Assuming Mike Soto is performing well in the minors, I'll probably call him up. Who's a Macha-Wutchit? Hotchkovanskian. I'm sorry you're hurt. I have no idea who you are, though. Not even a little bit. Okay. Ryan Green is really trying to push the envelope a bit this season, and I'd love to see that. If he can keep working on his control and his movement, I think he's got a chance to make the majors in the near future. Burp. Let's keep going. If we could get a series of the Cubs and then just fuck them up, I think that would be very helpful to our things here. We're scoring a lot more runs, it seems. Just kidding. I should have kept my mouth shut. And now we get kicked down again. You're apparently always going to keep me down. As useful as you've been, you're better than Xavier Goodwin. Yeah, let's go ahead and send him back to the minors. And then you can be lefty killer, middle relief. Like, we don't need to score like 10 runs a night, but we keep scoring like 2 and 3 runs, and that's not gonna get it done. And I really want, if we can manage it, I really truly want that first round bye. It's starting to slip away from us, though, which is the problem. It's beginning to slip away from us. Like, 5 games out in the last month of the season is definitely feasible. Sims is losing velocity. We may be on the back end of his career all of a sudden. So is Gresham. Hill got better. Joe got better. Almohair is a little bit better. Huarani is a tiny bit better. Matt Hawkins is better. Ryan Green has lost a sliver of control but has improved his movement. That's interesting. Alright. Homero Spineo is adding potential contact. I guess that's better than not. But he's still quite a ways away from being a productive major leaguer. So that's happened. Alright. Oh, I didn't realize that Rebellar had a hit streak. That's pretty crazy. Oh, he's in the minors. I forgot about that. LOL. Let us consider what we should do with the extra 2 roster spots. I think Mike Soto coming back to the majors is kind of a no-brainer. And then the question is, who else do we call up? I kind of think of calling up Tony Osorio and giving him an extended audition as another lefty guy. Where is Mike Soto gonna play? Great question. I'm just gonna generate some depth charts here. I definitely want Soto playing with some frequency, so I definitely want him playing in the bigs every now and again. No, only if tired. I desperately need Hawkins's on base percentage at the top of the lineup. The rest of this looks good though. Let's even let Soto play every 5 games. I want him to get a meaningful cup of coffee here in the majors. And then we're going to do paste, and we're going to do paste. Pozo's power is also gone. He is dragging his ass over the finish line to try to get to 3,000 hits. Yikes. I expected he would not perform at his very best, but he's basically lost all of his offensive capabilities. That is not ideal, and that's something we're going to have to deal with sooner rather than later. I'm going to opt out of his contract. As much as I love Manny Pozo, and as much as I think he's still got a chance to be a Hall of Famer, he is not the same guy anymore. Not even by a tiny bit. So we're gonna have a chat with him come the end of the season. Let us go ahead and get to the end of the regular season. I mean, Mike Soto is probably opening day third baseman next year, unless we can get Pozo back for really, really cheap, because I come to give him the opportunity to get to 3,000. I think that would be very, very cool. Damn, even when we are scoring plenty of runs, where the pitching staff is letting us down, and we just got swept by the Padres. That's not great. Where are the Padres? Oh, there they are. We're just getting... And yeah, the Inferno clinched the division, so... 400 homers for Cerulli. That's fine. Jeff MacArthur, didn't you... Oh, you're a different guy, aren't you? Or maybe you're not. Yeah, you played for me that 1 year in the majors, and you were god-awful, so I traded you. Good times. Well, maybe not good times, but definitely times. Alright. I still got one more game against St. Louis. We'll go ahead and finish that up. Alright, if we're going to defend our title, we're going to have to be smart. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and drop to a 3-man rotation for this first series here. And my number 3 starter is going to be Jose Brown over Joe Camp. And that's fine. Oh, I want to do playoff roster here. There we go. Who's getting left off the roster? I'm comfortable with all of this. This all seems perfectly cromulent to me. Let's go ahead and go to the start of the playoffs, and then that way I can set the lineups and everything the way that I'd want them to be set. Here we go. And then we have pitching. You're gonna do emergency starter, long relief. I'm gonna demote you to regular middle reliever because I have a better stopper in mind, Mr. Joe Camp, for the postseason. So let's see what happens here. I will not play an elimination game in the wild card round, but if we get past it, I'll think about doing the division series. Ty Sims was the dude. We pay him to pitch big games and big moments. That's exactly what he did. So well done, Ty. The old man of the Pirates, Jose Brown, also features a quality performance. And what about Mike Grasham? Can you take us all the way home? It's former Pirate Juan Espinosa. He signed with the Nationals. I remember that now. Crazy times. Up, no sweep. So it's between Ty Sims and Juan Espinosa to determine who goes the next round. And Sims locks it down, but we do lose Solano. That is concerning. But what did we do? We made it to the next round, and that is a good thing. Alright, so we're going to be facing the Dodgers. But before we do anything else, I need to adjust the playoff roster. I may add someone to the playoff roster. Definitely a pitcher, and I think it's going to be Xavier Goodwin. Because I need another long man out of the rotation. If we do, in fact, need one. So we're going to do long relief emergency starter. Cool. All right. Ooh, the Dodgers lit up Sims. That's a very bad sign. Very bad indeed. I don't know why Sims was pitching. Didn't Sims just pitch? I guess it had actually been a while. Okay. A nice little bounce back, which is excellent. Thank you, Jordan Munoz, by the way, for keeping us in this. The California Dogecoin? Are you literally shitting me? That's hilarious. No, you may not. You may not leave. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's your problem. You're currently a rookie manager and you'd like a bigger role. I would also like you to have a bigger role. I don't want you to manage the California Dogecoin. It's a stupid fucking name. Clark Egan is fine. But I guess I'd rather let it cost a sign somewhere else. So I guess that's what happens here. Womp womp. Alright. Jose Brown gets it done. Although Victor Rios was the big man there. And if Ty Sims can have a very nice bounce back game. Wasn't Ty Sims, was Joe Camp. Clearly Joe Camp is the greatest and is our secret weapon. Let's go to the next playoff round. So here's the interesting problem, so to speak. Joe Camp has been so bloody good in the out of the bullpen. I kind of don't want him to take that fourth rotation spot because I'm going to need a four-man rotation now. So who is that fourth guy? I think it might actually be Andres Carrillo. Because I need a fourth starter, and I'd rather have Carrillo in the rotation and Camp in the bullpen. There's nothing wrong with Andres Carrillo as a pitcher, but I think he's more useful to me in the rotation, and Camp is more useful to me in the bullpen. All right, a 13 game, 13 inning game. Cool. This is purely our bullpen getting the shit done. Okay, our starters are not lasting very deep into games at all, but our relievers are doing phenomenally, especially Joe Camp. Maybe I just don't make Joe Camp a starter anymore. Like, he's so bloody good out of the bullpen that I'm just not sure. We have a 3-game lead, and Ty Sims had a very nice game. Only allowed 1 run over 7 innings. You want the Pittsburgh prospects as a bench coach. You could have signed with the Dogecoin. I think that's a missed opportunity, my friend. A very big missed opportunity. But we will find a quality coach to coach the next generation of outstanding players here. Robert Gutierrez, welcome aboard. And how sweep it is. We're into our 2nd World Series. Lovely. I wonder if it's going to be the Skyhawks or the Twins. The Skyhawks have a really cool name, so I kind of hope it is the Skyhawks, but it might be the Twins too, and that would be also interesting. Oh, 7-game LCS. And the Skyhawks did indeed make it. All right. Who did we play last year in the World Series? Is the Twins last year. I see. We have beaten the Skyhawks before. We beat them for 2 of our World Series titles, so... Ty Sims, an excellent start. Nice. Look who hit a homer. Yeah, and then we tear him up. Thank you, Jordan Munoz. You are proving to be an excellent player. That's lovely. I'm glad he's back, but I can't do anything about him, unfortunately. An offensive explosion. Even Manny Pozo had some fun. That's cool. I mean, we don't get a sweep. That's fine, though. Andres Carrillo hasn't really started all season. He got lit up. It's fine. It's not great that Osorio pitched 4 fucking innings. Like, give him a break. But whatever. That's okay. This is less okay. Ty Sims getting beat does not fill me with confidence. Come on, Grasham, get her done. Let's shut this thing out. Let's take home another World Series title. Don't be alarmed by how cool their names are. It's a very cool name. But I need you to just shut him down. Shut him the fuck down. Or not. And that creates a very interesting scenario that frankly terrifies me. First things first, no, Ty Sims will not be ready. I'd rather trust Jose Brown anyway. I mean, the number 3 offense in the American League is tearing us apart these last couple games. This is for all of the marbles. So let us marble as well as we can. Anybody here interesting? Nope. And what about Japan? Also nope. Okay. Alright, we got a Game 7 in the World Series. Let's see what we can manage here. And let's start this game. Alright, Matt Hawkins, you are here for one very important, very important job. You're here to draw walks. And just get on base, and we'll see what happens. Oh, that is indeed a strike. Well done. He doesn't have much movement, so we do have some chance of doing some damage to him if we can catch up. Missed the strike zone. We're just gonna make him work. That's a miss. And I ain't gonna swing at a 3-1 pitch. Not when I want you to wear out your arm. That's a strike. And now you can swing away, my friend. You struck out. But I'm okay with that. That took 6 pitches. Sean Hill, you're going to do basically the exact same thing because you're not very good at hitting against lefties. All I want to do is get base runners. If we can get people on base, then good things can happen. I won't even turn him loose with a 3-1 count if that happens. Allowed out, but an out. Alright, Henry Salgado. Do some damage, my friend. They draw a walk. That's alright, though. Jordan Munoz has been hotter than hell this postseason. Do some damage, my friend. That is an out. That is not damage, except to us, maybe. Alright. Come on, Jose Brown. You've actually been really productive this postseason. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. 1 pitch, 1 out. You love to see it. A strikeout for not Andres Barones. It was, what is it? Brown? Brandon Brown. Okay. Nicely done, Jose Brown. That's an excellent start. Manny Pozo is up. Get him, Manford. Yeah, you used to be able to beat that out. You just can't do it anymore. That's fine. Let's get Joe going here. A lovely little bloop single. That's the key, right? You gotta put pressure on him by getting people on the bases. Now that's hanging too long. That's an out. Unfortunately. That is also an out. Now, it's worth noting, they've got an awful lot of power, so if Jose Brown does fuck up, it is likely to be very painful. So we're going to have to keep the ball down and give up easy hits. That's not what I wanted, but that's alright. Really? A passed ball? Or wild pitch? Come on, guys. Don't give him free freaking base runners. Goes over to first. That is the right play. We're definitely going to go ahead and pitch to Nichols. I'm not really scared of him. I say as he hits it right up the third base line. Come on, guys. We can't be up 3-0 and then lose the World Series in Game 7. I won't accept that. Really, dude? Why did you even dive for that? That was an easy enough play to make. Don't allow these shitty hitters to get... Alright, we got him out. Like, we've got plenty of quality hitters of our own, but I would prefer not to have to push too damn hard. And a nice leadoff double. That's what I'm talking about. Matt Hawkins. I could try a hit and run, but they've got a really, really good defense and really good outfielders, too. Hawkins, I'm going to let you swing away. And you struck out. Come on, Hawkins. I want to try to get Sean Hill on base for Salgado, so they have to pitch to Salgado. Strike one. And come on, get on base. That's not getting on base, that's an out. And so the problem is because Salgado is so good, I think there's a really good chance that they walk him. Yeah, they're too scared of him. They should be, but that does make me a bit sad. Munoz, let's do some damage here. That's a run. I like it. Manny Pozo, come on, my dude. Pozo, this could be your very last game in the Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. I need you to not. I need you to play your very, very best and not give up a home run. Oh, that's Jose Brown that just did that. Are you fucking joking me? Are you literally fucking joking me that a little shit hitter like that gets a home run? Oh my god, and then Jones fucks up the play. Oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I don't even know what to do at this point, other than just keep pitching and hoping for good things to happen. Because I don't have anyone that I would trust to pitch multiple innings right now, other than like Joe Camp. And I really don't want to do it for Joe Camp. I want to save him for when he can be even more useful. Yeah, but you gave up a home run. And nobody seems to be hitting today, which is somewhat troubling. Nope, that's an out. Every damn pitch we're hitting is just like hanging in the air. Like we can't get a good piece of it. He's got crappy movement. We should be able to like drive his stuff pretty easily. Or not. He's just generating all this weak contact. and a line drive. That's like not even difficult for them. All right. We've got to get we've got to get the bottom part of this order out very, very quickly so that we have some options for what we do next inning. That's an out for Hawkins. That's a fucking double for Cuevas. What the shit, guys? Just, why are you giving up these hits to these hitters that aren't that good? Like, Cuevas is fine, I guess, but he's not someone that should be, like, ripping doubles down the right field line. And then you walk this prick. Oh my god, Brown. You're done this inning. You're done. I can't bring you out again. You're getting behind way too many bad hitters, and that just puts too much pressure on us. Now the bases are loaded, and I have to hope that you somehow get Brandon Brown out. Oh my... You fucking moron, Jones. You absolute fucking moron. Guys, we don't deserve to win this World Series. I mean, maybe we will. I'd be happy if we did, but yeah. To take that easy and out and fuck it up is the kind of shit that it just kills your team. I need someone to pick up a couple of innings for us, so I'm going to go ahead and warm up Victor Rios. I think that's a good call. Well, who do they have coming up? It's going to be switch, left switch. I could do Robbie Guerrero, but I think I will do Victor Rojas, or Rios, rather. Guys, Josh Feldman, we should be able to tear this guy up a bit. You just got to settle down, get your pitches, and do damage with them. That is a weak-ass fly ball. Come on, guys. Like, he's got good control and stuff, but the thing is, we're just not hitting him. Our hitters are hitting the way that you would expect hitters of our caliber to hit, which is poorly. They're getting, like, their 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters tearing us apart, and that's a recipe for poor performance. Come on, Sean Hill, please do something. That feels like a possible something right there. Nope, it's an out, you fucking jerk. Yeah, you're done, Jose Brown. If this game gets any farther out of hand, we're just doomed. So, I'm going to hope that a new pitcher can work some magic here. Really, dude? Why is... Oh my god. Why is it not a double play? I will fully acknowledge that might just be the animations, but it looked like he had plenty of opportunities to get a double play there. And then you give up a fucking hit, because of course you do. Come on, guys. Stop it. Why is it every mediocre hitter in the fucking league can just tear us apart all of a sudden? Oh my god. I hate you all. I hate each and every person that pitches. Why are you so terrible? Oh yeah, now you get a strikeout, jackass. Friends, that's probably it. We're down by 5 runs, no one is hitting today, and I can't get anybody out. That's a pretty terrible combination. Let's get Joe Jobson up. But yeah, I don't feel great about our chances. Anything can happen, obviously. But they won't throw a strike to Salgado, and why would they? And they strike out Jordan Munoz, who's like the one other hitter who's been highly productive. Really? Come on, you fuckers. Swing. And that's just a lazy fly ball out. I think we're done, guys. I truly believe we have very little chance of coming back in this game. Maybe if we're able to chase that starter, we'll face someone else and we'll do more damage to them, perhaps. But for right now, just nothing is... Oh my fucking Christ. Would you one damn time not get on base? Just once. Fuck up. This is very clearly... Oh my god. I loathe each and every person on this fucking team. Yeah, I gotta pitch to him. Oh boy, a double play. And if you hadn't fucked up, we wouldn't have anybody on base anyway. We are truly lucky to have only given up one run there. Alright, so we got Ed Amos up. Maybe we'll do a bit more against him. I guess we can start warming up Joe Camp. See if he can get us a couple of innings, because someone has to. And, of course, an utterly harmless ground ball. What a way to start an inning. No, the best way to start an inning is 2 utterly harmless ground balls. Oh, we got on base somehow, but it's not going to matter because... Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. It's always possible that... Nope, we're done. We have nothing today. Not a single fucking thing. Nothing we have done today has gone right. This guy is fucking terrible. And you keep walking him. Or hitting him. Just fucking groove him 3 fastballs in a row. He ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, guys, barring an absolute outpouring of offense in this inning, I really don't think we've got a chance. And starting with a weak fly ball to second is definitely not going to help. Instead of drawing a walk this time, we just strike out hopelessly. Cool, 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 cool. I give up. I give up. You're not even trying. Every freaking ball you're hitting is just the weakest ass shit in Major League history. Oh, we somehow got on base. I guess I shouldn't be thankful. But now it doesn't matter because Anthony Jones is up. Let's pinch hit. Let's at least try to go down swinging. And who are you? Who do you have here? Is he a lefty? He's a lefty. Let's get Mike Soto up. That looks like a wild pitch or a pass ball. Gets us up to second. Really? That's a walk. Oh my god. They don't fucking need the World Series. This was an utterly disgusting game. We had a 3-0 lead in the World Series. And then we just stopped playing. We just utterly ceased playing baseball. And that game in particular, like, if you look at Portland's fucking lineup, we handled their big bats. And then their little fucking dinky ass jerk faces are the ones that got all their hits. Like, really good teams don't do that, guys. They don't. And yes, Jose Brown got hosed because of Anthony Jones' stupid fucking play. I get that. But what an utterly disgusting end of the season. If I were just the GM, I would fire the manager for this performance. Because 4 consecutive games, you just didn't hit at all for any reason. And yeah, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was that convinced you to just give up, but that's exactly what you did. Like, we gave the fuck up. Other than Jordan Munoz, the rest of the offense just didn't hit. They had no reason to throw anything to Henry Salgado past the 3rd game. They just walked him every fucking time. And that's great. It's a free base runner, but the people behind him didn't put anything else up. This was very badly disappointing. And an ugly end to what was otherwise a pretty good season. Maybe not our very best, but this was a very winnable World Series. And we just didn't get the job done. We just didn't. And so there's nothing left to do but dust ourselves off and try again next season. So Jose Brown is going to be back. Ty Sims is not. If we don't have Ty Sims, we have nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a 3-year deal if you will take one. I think that's reasonable. Okay. So a whole bunch of coaches retired. Manny Pozo, I can't pay you $25 million for less than a win. I don't have that much money. Mike Grasham, I do think I can bring you back. I think you are more than worthy of being brought back. Neither player here is all that thrilling. Okay. So we're going to talk about arbitration here in a minute here. But I first want to make some coaching decisions here. So Poisonell. I need a new hitting coach. And Cody Freeman is really good at hitting. He doesn't like controlling people. And we only have one of those, so I think we're going to begin by promoting Cody Freeman to the exalted ranks of hitting coach. Interesting, he is controlling, but doesn't get along with controlling people. Whatever. I could use someone that's personable to be our third base coach. So Navarrete is going to get promoted to AAA hitting coach. Blessor is going to get promoted to AAA pitching coach. Fujira is going to be AA pitching coach. Hamilton is going to be AA hitting coach. High A, I can't promote. No, actually, I can promote Not but I can promote anybody else to high A. Miles is a really, really good coach. He's not necessarily a great hitting coach, though. Crayford is an outstanding hitting coach. You are now my high A Greensboro hitting coach. Pitching coach, M is pretty talented. I think that's a fine choice for high A Greensboro. And Alex Escamilla, you can be the new low A pitching coach. Alright. I really want somebody... Let's look at scouting directors. Because this is very, very important. I would like an outstanding scout who is personable if I can get that. But I honestly just want a great scouting director. I don't really care what his talents are. So let's go ahead and grab Mr. Josh Williams and welcome him aboard. Third base coach. We got to get ourselves someone that's personable. That is almost more important than just about anything else. I wish I could just right-click. Oh, I can just do that. Okay, cool. That's actually really easy. Probably Eddie Diaz would be the best choice here. He's really good at teaching and he's great at development. Let's go ahead and hire up Eddie Diaz to be our third base coach. For everyone else, I just care about their actual talent level. So we're going to grab ourselves Jesus Fuentes. And Omar Lopez. And get rid of my filter, please. And Gene Kelly. There we go. Coaching sorted. Now let's talk about how the season went and what could have gone better. And what might have changed things. When your very best player is Sean Hill, who had an outstanding season. Sean Hill really bounced back in a really good way and reminded us why we have him in the first place. Henry Salgado did eventually recover, but his ice-cold start probably cost us the division. Joe was very talented, a very solid catcher, not great at throwing people out, but I'm not as worried about that because he's really good at framing. Matt Hawkins ended up being indispensable and a very, very welcome piece to our whole puzzle. Anthony Jones did Anthony Jones things again, hits for a reasonable amount of power, plays pretty good defense. He really fucked up in the World Series, though. Alex Swamani was given a very challenging task, and I think mostly managed it. He played pretty good shortstop. Jordan Munoz was excellent. He could be better, but what we got out of him was pretty good. The biggest disappointment is Manny Pozo. I did not think his age would catch up with him almost instantaneously, but that's exactly what happened. I still think he has something to offer us, so I'm going to try to bring him back if I can bring him back cheaply. Because I think there's still value in keeping him around for the chase of 3,000. Yeah. And then we really struggled to get a ton of production out of the DH spot before moving Munoz there. And overall, I just think that the offense was the real disappointment this year. Only 2 of our hitters were really productive, and the rest ranged from acceptable to not great. Now, maybe Michael Iglesias comes back, he DHs, and everything falls back into place. The offense was really, really troubling to me. And that is something we're going to have to deal with. Let's look at the pitching. Ty Sims, absolutely phenomenal. I know that he is trending in the wrong direction with his velocity. I think he is so good, I cannot afford to let him go. If we don't have him, I think we're in a world of trouble. Mike Grasham was solid. We got a ton out of Rios and Camp and Brown. And we had some more disappointing performances from some people a little bit lower down in the order. But this was a very good pitching staff. Quite good. And it is not their fault that when the playoffs started, we kind of found ourselves up Schitt's Creek. So, my friends, first things first, let's talk about arbitration stuff. I am not paying Manny Pose $11 million. Don't be fucking stupid. I would rather let Mike Soto learn the job on the job than pay you $11 million. I'm just not going to do that. It's a waste of my money and it's a waste of your time. Robbie Hero, I'd love to bring you back as a reliever, but not as a starter. So if you want to get paid a lot of money to be a starter, I will bring you back as a reliever for $2.8 million. Yeah, I'm not giving you starter. That's not happening. I will offer Manny Pozo $2 million a year for 1 year and see if he takes it. Okay. You might be coming back to me, my friend. You might very well be coming back to me. Andres Carrillo wants very little money. I'm happy to provide that. I'm not guaranteeing the starting rotation. Don't be delusional. Jesus Solano, perfectly cromulent. Could we do better than him? Maybe. But for now, I'll bring him back for a year. Joe Camp literally kept this team together. I definitely want him to be available for multiple roles, though. Joe Jobson, don't make me fucking laugh. I am not paying you that much money. I will trade you if I can, but I will not pay you. Yeah. I will happily let you walk and maybe re-sign you in the offseason. I don't know. Victor Rios was really productive, and I have no problem with paying him a bit more, but not to be a starter. Not until I can figure out who's doing what. Can I do 3 years at $10 million? Would you take that? No. That's fine. Then we'll do the 9.3. Anthony Jones is fine. I really don't want him anymore. But every time I look for a replacement, I can't find what I'm looking for. So I'd rather have a competent center fielder at a bit more than I'd like to pay than an incompetent one for a lot less. Don't be fucking stupid. This is your last year with us. Come hell or high water, unless I can't find a replacement at all. But I'm paying you $10 million. That is not happening. Okay. Any intriguing youngsters here? I'll offer you a minor league extension, Christian Jackson. Okay. I have to admit, Manny Pozo just vanishing is not something I expected to happen. That is maybe the one thing I didn't account for. I assumed if he had a decline, it would be more gentle than this. But he just cratered. He just went into the toilet. He can't hit anymore. Like I said, if he will be willing to come back for cheap, I will bring him back. Otherwise, Mike Soto, it's your time to shine. You will be our starting day third baseman next season. For good or for ill. Hopefully Mike Iglesias returns and is what he was for us before. Because we really need another bat. We need another bat to protect Henry Salgado. Maybe that means making Salgado the cleanup guy and batting Sean Hill third. But then I don't have a true leadoff guy or a true number 2, so we have to think about that. But for now, my friends, despite the disappointing end of the season, I am genuinely proud of what we accomplished. We were in very, very bad straits at the beginning there, and we recovered beautifully. I think we did well for the experience, and I'm hopeful that we will return to the playoffs again next season. So that's good. That is good news for certain. But until next time, my friends, I'd like to thank you for watching the series. Feel free to share some thoughts in the comments about who I might pick up next once we've won that elusive 8th World Series. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.